Good afternoon, everyone. It's conference baseball, Conference USA style here at Nick Dennis Field at Western Kentucky University for the first of a three-game series between the visiting Sam Houston Bearcats and the homestanding Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers. I'm Randy Lee, along with Greg Davis. Welcome to Nick Dennis Field for a Friday game, which was slated for 6. It's now at 4 p.m. We've had weather issues all spring long, so we've had numerous games altered and changed. We're good to go today. The weather's going to be good. The wind is blowing in, Greg. It'll be advantage for the pitchers here this afternoon.
I would say so. And we got two great pitchers on the mound today, Randy. Noah Kendrick pitching for the Bearcats. He's from Nederland. As you see, the Conference USA
Jack
standings
Bennett on the
come
mound
up.
for the Tops. Right now, the Hilltoppers lost 2 out of 3 on the road at Kennesaw State to get the season started. Sam Houston hosted a 3-game series against powerhouse Louisiana Tech, and they dropped 2 out of 3. So both teams are in the same boat. 1 week into the conference season. Different story, though, in terms of the overall record. The Hilltoppers off to not only the best start in school history, the best start in Conference USA history at 22 up and only 3 down.
And what a streak, beating the CUSA record. And then the pitching has been fantastic, as you see on your screen there. Also, Ryan Weidman's had just a tremendous season up to this point. He hit for the cycle earlier in the season.
Now, the Bearcats' record is not great overall, 7 up and 18 down, but their schedule has been daunting. They played about as difficult of a non-conference schedule as anyone in college baseball, so they're probably better than their record at 7 and 18. First of 3 today, first of 3 this weekend, the Hilltoppers against the Bearcats of Sam Houston on an unusually nice day for this time of year. It's been terrible in terms of rain and cold. It's really good today, though, weather-wise. 75 degrees here at the Nick. Back for the first pitch right after this between Sam Houston and WKU. Of the 10 Conference USA baseball stadiums, no stadium plays larger than Nick Dennis Field. And Greg, with the wind blowing in as much as 13 miles per hour today, it's even a bigger pitcher's park than it normally is.
Absolutely, Randy. When the wind picks up, this is a very difficult place to hit a home run out of. I think it's going to come down to fielding and pitching today. It's going to make a big difference at the end.
330 down the lines and left and right at Nick Dennis Field. 370 to power alleys in left center to right center and 400 feet to straightaway center. See the Hilltoppers here on their third base side of the dugout. They've opted to go with the all-white look on this Friday afternoon. This was supposed to be a 6 o'clock start, but due to rain in the forecast later tonight, they moved the start up to 4 o'clock. And I believe there have been more games that have had their first pitch times altered than haven't for Western Kentucky University this year.
Seems like every other game, Randy, we've had to shift it around because of the weather, but today's a beautiful day. Looking forward to a great game.
Jack Bennett is the starter for Western Kentucky University. Amazing numbers through his 5 games and 1.05 earned run average, and he had a 0 earned run average through his first 4 starts. Greg, the startling stat there, 26 strikeouts and just 3 walks.
Unbelievable control by Jack Bennett so far this season. And he has a good fastball as well as a breaking pitch, so we're going to see some good stuff out of him today, I think.
Also a tremendous changeup from Bennett, who did give up runs and hits in the last outing a week ago today at Kennesaw State for his first loss of the year. Actually, it was a no decision. He went 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 9 hits in that game. There you see the starting lineup for Sam Houston. They're a team that, according to their head coach, Jay Seriani, we are hardworking, we are scrappy, and head coach Mark Raridan of Western Kentucky University, his first 2 years here on the Hill, known as a team that bunts a lot and runs. He goes, well, Sam Houston plays the way we've been playing the last 2 years, not necessarily this year, but the last 2 years. So they'll make you feel they make you play defense, and the Hilltoppers from time to time, especially this past weekend, had trouble with some infield defense and gave up 6 unearned runs in their 2 losses at Kennesaw State.
I'm sure that's a point of contention with Coach Raridan coming into this series. He prides himself on great defense as well as manufacturing runs and great pitching.
So Bennett is ready to go. He's a Kentucky kid. He's 6'2", 210 pounds from Paducah, and he'll be facing Grant Nottleman. Nottleman is a left-handed batter, designated hitter, steps to the plate now, hitting .218 with a home run and 5 knocked in. Bennett ready to go, works from an abbreviated windup, and his first pitch is a strike. The umpires for this one, John Mang calling balls and strikes. Jeff Francis is at third base, and Dan Andrews is at third as we are now underway at Nick Dennis Field. Little skimmer to third, grabbed on the carpet by Vasquez, and he throws over to first base, and Nottleman is out. One down. It's Vasquez at third for the Hilltoppers. Reed Howard at short. Austin Holler patrols second. Thomas Marsala is at first. Anthony Westbrook is the catcher. And the outfield from left to right with Joe Ciervo, Ryan Weidman, and Ethan Lozama. One down now for Blake Brown. Brown is the third baseman for Sam Houston. And the pitch is right on the inside edge, strike one.
And he's tied for second on the team in extra base hits, Randy, so this guy can hit.
He has played and started in every game for the Bearcats. Then it drops in a breaking ball to his knees, and it is 0-2. Bennett has thrown 4 pitches. All have been strikes. Bennett with 4 losses and no defeats. 1.05 earned run average. There's a liner knocked down off the chest of the first baseman Marsala. Scrambles to his right and throws. And he's out.
Great
close play.
Great play. Great job of getting in front of the play and knocking the ball down.
Watch the ball come up and hit Marsala in the chest. He grabs it to his right, throws to Bennett. The Hilltoppers have 3 tremendous athletes on the pitcher's mound, and there's no better defensive pitcher the Hilltoppers have had in recent years than Jack Bennett, who was recruited here. They're going to review this one, but I believe, as we saw in the replay, I believe he is out at first base. Bennett was recruited as an infielder and pitcher, but they've opted to have him exclusively as a pitcher, but he's a great athlete. He has made tremendous plays in his 3 years here at WKU, fielding his own position, and he got over there after Marsala knocked it down with his chest and made the catch on the dead run, and on a very close play at first, and we'll wait for the review here with 1 out and nobody on, and inning 1.
I don't know, Randy. That was awful close. I thought we got him to begin with there, and then I saw the replay. I'm kind of up in the air on this one. They've got a time clock on this, right?
Well, yeah. WKU played a game at Eastern Kentucky a few weeks ago, and I'm not exaggerating. I wasn't at the game. I was listening at the time. The review took over 15 minutes. Look at it again.
Here we go. Hasn't touched. Ooh. I'm going to let you make that call, Randy.
I think Bennett's foot beat Brown's to the first base bag on a bang-bang play. Looking at the Hilltopper dugout, Mark Reardon, WKU's head coach in his 3rd year at Western Kentucky University. 91-51 is his record.
He's done a tremendous job of bringing in some really good junior college players, Randy. And I'd say this is his best team since he's been on the Hill.
No doubt about that. Hilltoppers off to 22-3 mark. And he is out at first, so Marsala knocked it down as it bounced up into his chest, and he hustles over and grabs it and throws out Bennett covering. So there are 2 outs for the Bearcats in the first inning, and here's Hunter Autry. Autry playing left field, also left-handed bat at 302. 3 home runs and 22 driven in. Here's a changeup from Bennett. It's down and away.
This guy's got some pop in his bat, so you got to pitch to him a little careful here, Randy.
Bennett to Autry, way inside. 2-0.
The senior from Corsicana, 22 RBIs on the season.
One of only 2 returning game in and game out position player starters from last year's Bearcat team, and Bennett's missed inside, 3-0. Bennett with only 3 walks this season and 26 in a 3rd innings pitched. And now it's 3-1.
Great pitch down the middle, fastball. Coach Sirianni's done a great job with the Bearcats over the years.
Winning tradition in Huntsville, Texas. This program is all about winning. And he's walked him. Autry's on with 2 outs. That'll bring in Addison Smith. And you learned a little bit about Addison Smith prior to the baseball game today, Greg.
I'm trying to think what we were talking about on that one, Randy.
In terms of what he brings to this program, being recruited and signed as a transfer student, coming in and from Oklahoma State.
He didn't get too much playing time, though,
Not at
last
Oklahoma
year.
State. Yeah, not at Oklahoma State. He did not. Here's a pitch to Smith, and it's over the outside edge, strike one. We were visiting with the sports information director for Sam Houston, and he talked about the bat speed that Addison Smith has, probably more than any other Bearcat.
He's a talent, no doubt about it.
Bennett missing a little bit low as Westbrook frames the pitch. And it's a ball and a strike to Smith. 1 on, 2 down, just getting started, no score. WKU and Sam Houston in a Conference USA Friday afternoon game. Throw to first is late.
I believe Smith was redshirted too, Randy, because he had so few at-bats last year at Oklahoma State.
Played in this 15 games. He's hitting .258, couple of home runs and 13 knocked in. And it finds the outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bennett has made starts against Lafayette College, Central Michigan, University of North Carolina, Asheville, UT Martin, and Kennesaw State. Smith chokes up about an inch with 2 strikes.
They're playing him to pull.
And misses way inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the first time that Sam Houston has ever played in Bowling Green and has watched the pitch sail inside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Just the 4th time these two teams have ever played. They met for the first time in a 3-game series last year in Huntsville. Hilltoppers won 2 out of 3. Lifted down the left field line. Fair. It bounces over the brick sidewall. That'll be a ground rule double. Advancing from first to third is Autry, and Smith with an opposite field double. He launched it down the left field line with a lot of side spin. When that ball hit the turf, it bounced directly to the left and up over the brick wall on this in foul territory for a ground rule double.
Great job by Smith going with the pitch. He didn't try to pull it. He just went with it, and it was wide open. Ground rule double.
2 on, 2 down now for Ryan Frandon. Frandon's a left-handed hitting first baseman. Time is now called at home.
Brandon had a great game against Texas, 3 for 3, Randy, with a double, 2 RBIs.
.265 hitter this year. And it stays high. 1 ball, no strikes.
$18 RBIs on the season.
Bennett allowed 2 runs in last week's first inning at Kennesaw State. That ball's ripped down the right field line, but foul. And it's a ball and a strike. The first 2 earned runs he had allowed the entire season.
I'll tell you, that was close, Randy. That would have been 2 RBIs right there. That would have been an extra base hit.
A ball and a strike to Frandon. Bearcats threatening in the first. And it tails outside. As a team, the Bearcats hitting .263. They average just a shade under 6 runs a game. They struggled pitching so far this year, but their schedule's been daunting. That is low by Bennett. And it is 3-1 with runners at second and third. Good eye by Frandon. Very dangerous hitter, and Jace Martinez is up next for Sam Houston. Hoping to arrive at the plate with some damage already done or with the bases loaded. He's way outside. Bennett unusually wild, walking 2 in his first inning after walking 3 in his previous 25 2/3 coming into the game.
Unbelievable. He's struggling a little bit to get strikes.
That brings in Jace Martinez. He was on the all-freshman team at Conference USA a year ago. One of only 2 returning position player starters. The other one, Hunter Autry, and Autry stands at third base with his 2-out walk. 2 up, 2 down in this inning for the Bearcats, but Autry walks on a 3-2 pitch. Smith loops a double to the left, and then Frandon walked on a 3-1 offering. Dylan Napoleon, who came here with Mark Reardon from Iowa Western Community College together 3 years ago. His first phone call was to Dylan Napoleon. Do you want to follow me to Bowling Green? And at Western Kentucky University was a quick answer, yes. And Dylan Napoleon's pitching staff here in his 3 years has always been solid. Number-wise, this is the season that they put it all together. However, this is just week 2 of Conference USA play.
Every week they seem to get better and better, and they have one of the lowest ERAs in the country.
Right now, the second lowest ERA, only behind Tennessee. One of only 3 pitching staffs in college baseball as of today with a team earned run average of under 3. Bases loaded, 2 down. Jace Martinez, the hitter, at 289. And it's at his knees after the mound visit. And it's 0-1. Martinez has hit a pair of long balls and has knocked in 10. Hilltoppers position their outfield shallow and toward right center against the right-handed hitter. And Bennett is down with that pitch. It's a ball and a strike. Sam Houston is not used to scoring runs early in games. In fact, they've only scored first in a game 5 times this season. That's just a hair off the inside edge. It's 2-1. They're in their 26th game. In their first 25, the opponent has scored first in all but 5 of the games. But they're threatening here with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 0-0 game. And ball's lifted foul off to the right side now to play into the bright and sunshiny sky here in South Central Kentucky. And the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down and the bases full of Bearcats in the top of inning number 1.
Probably going to see something off speed here, Randy.
Yep, exactly what he threw, and he fouled it away to the right side. Bennett is not a hard thrower, much like Noah Kendrick, who the Bearcats are starting today. Bennett's out pitch is his changeup. Averaging a strikeout per inning pitch this year. And he gets Martinez looking with a called strike 3. So he pitches around a bases loaded jam. No runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 left after half inning. No score on ESPN Plus. You're looking at Noah Kendrick, who is a sophomore from Nederland, Texas, 6'4", 200-pounder. And he is doing something today for the first time, Greg, that is starting on a weekend. He has been primarily the Tuesday night starter for Sam Houston.
Very talented pitcher, Randy. 3.57 ERA. He's 0-3 on the season, but he's done a real good job for them so far. He has very good control, and I'm very familiar with Nederland, having lived not too far away from there in Beaumont. So Nederland High School I'm very familiar with.
He's looking at a lineup that collectively is hitting .332. That leads the conference. Carlos Vasquez will lead it off at third. Ethan Lazam is in right. Ryan Weidman, who's tearing it up, is in center. Thomas Marsala cleans it up at first. Camden Ross is DHing today. Reed Howard at short, followed by second baseman Austin Holler, catcher Anthony Westbrook, and left fielder Joe Ciervo. Much like the Hilltopper starting pitcher today, Bennett, Kendrick not overpowering, fastball, curveball change. And Coach Seriano says of him that he's been making progress, and he's a young man who they feel like has a big upside at Sam Houston. He's shown glimpses of a fastball that has a lot of conviction down in his zone, but consistency early in games is where they want him to work on. So we'll see how good he is early on against this Hilltopper offense. And now Carlos Vasquez leads it off. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Here comes the Western Kentucky University third baseman. And it's inside. Like Bennett with only 3 walks the entire season, Kendrick in 7 games and 4 starts, only 3 walks in 22 2/3 innings. Here's a little punch shot to right, coming over in foul territory near the side brick wall, and it's out of play. It is a ball and a strike. Going over near the wall is Parker Blackman. You can see at this ballpark down the lines, the foul territory quickly diminishes. And there's a side brick wall in right and left that you have to deal with. And not a high brick wall, but nonetheless, Last thing you want to do is go flying into that brick wall. We've seen that from time to time. Not very often, but there have been some injuries as players have raced over into foul territory and hit the wall. Line to third. What a great grab there by Blake Brown on a wicked line drive.
That was a frozen rope. I was getting ready to say, if Vasquez is having a good day and Ryan Weidman, there you see the instant replay. Frozen rope down the third baseline. Great catch.
That's why it's called the hot corner. Here comes Ethan Lozama, the Hilltopper right fielder. Lozama hitting at .358, 5 home runs, and that is second on the team to Weidman, who's on deck, and he has 25 knocked in. High fly ball to the left near the line, and it is foul by only about a foot or two.
Lozama's got some pop in his bat as well, Randy. 5 home runs this season and 25 RBIs.
Lozama with what I would call pull power. I think all of his home runs have been to right center or right. And as you see there, he is a native of Guam. There aren't too many college baseball players in America who were born in Guam. Family still lives there. Takes a strike there. And it is 0-2 from Noah Kendrick.
The very dangerous Ryan Weidman coming up to bat after Lozama.
Big chopper to short. Martinez up and over for the out, 2 down. And here is Ryan Weidman. High bouncer off this turf. And that was an easy play for the short-handed shortstop Martinez. Here's Weidman. If the season ended today, which it doesn't, but nonetheless, he is the hands-down Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. Look at those numbers.
.452, unbelievable. Watched him hit for the cycle a few weeks ago.
He chops this one down the third base line foul. It is 0-1. At the present time, Weidman leads Conference USA in batting average, hits, RBIs, triples, total bases, slugging, stolen bases. Number 1, all those stats. That's fouled back. 2 strikes. No score, inning 1. It's the Hilltoppers and Bearcats. Sam Houston had the bases loaded and 2 outs before Bennett struck out Martinez looking to retire the side. There's a ball lifted to center with some depth. Going back is Lee, and he's shy of the track and hauls it in. You do not want the ball in the air today with the wind blowing in as much as 15 miles an hour. Hilltoppers go 1-2-3 against Noah Kendrick, and after an inning of play at Nickton's Field today, there's no score. No score after an inning, and we anticipate some of the crowd will start filing in after work today. This game was supposed to have started at 6 o'clock, but due to rain in the forecast later tonight, they decided to move up until 4 as the Hilltoppers and Bearcats battle on a Friday here in Bowling Green. Area sports fans, or some of them, are happy. There are 5 high schools in the city. Bowling Green High School won their second boys basketball game in the Sweet 16 today in overtime. They won their first game in overtime as well. So all of the Bowling Green High School alums and fans sort of celebrating today because they've got 2 down and 2 to go in their quest to go for a state championship here in Kentucky. Here's Parker Blackman, another left-handed bat against Bennett. It's at the knees for a strike. Kentucky is the last state, Greg, that has just 1 champion. There are no classes here in basketball. It's just 1 state champion.
Hey, I like that, being from Indiana.
1-1 now to Blackman. 262 hitter, 10 RBIs, no home runs. Both pitchers got through the first inning with no runs scored, but damage was done. A little bit of damage on the base pass for Sam Houston as he one-hops to the shortstop Howard, and he throws him out. To get through that inning, Bennett had to throw 27 pitches in that first inning.
Nice play by Howard, getting in front of it, making the easy throw.
Howard is an 18-year-old true freshman, and he was not the starting shortstop when this season got off to a start, but he has quickly taken over at shortstop, and I don't see him relenting here this year at all. 1 out. Bennett's on the outside corner, around the knees to Ty Marthijani. Marthijani also has a twin brother who's a pitcher, and maybe we'll see one twin to another at some point in time here in the series. Weidman racing in on the sinking line drive off the bat of Marthijani, and there are 2 outs.
Weidman got a great jump on that ball, made a big difference, made it look like a routine play.
Off the end of his bat, and Weidman, who can fly, grabs it in shallow center. 2 down for Sam Lee. Lee also a center fielder for Sam Houston. He has not had a lot of opportunities this year, just 11 starts and a 121 average. 1 ball, no strikes.
I'd say Sam Houston's roster is 95% from the state of Texas, Randy.
Yeah. You don't have to travel very far to find a mess of great baseball players when you're just north of Houston, where Huntsville, Texas is at. That pitch is a strike. It's 1-1.
And all the great junior colleges in the state of Texas.
Jay Sirianni does have some Midwest connections. So if they're going to get a player that's not in Texas, chances are it'll be in the Kansas area. And the ball lands in the glove in right center, in the glove of Ryan Weidman. So Bennett with an easy second inning after he struggled in the first. And we're in the middle of the second inning, and there's no score on ESPN+. Kendrick had an easy first inning. It's the Hilltopper bats, retired in 1-2-3. And as I look at their uniforms, Greg, with this just being the second day of the Major League Baseball regular season, I think the San Francisco Giants with those gray pants and black jerseys with orange numbers.
Yep, the old Willie McCovey days, remember? Dusty Baker. Very similar. I thought you were going to go Orioles on me for a second there. No. You threw me a curveball, Randy.
Changed it up on you, did I? Thomas Marsala will lead it off. He is the Hilltopper first baseman today. The Tops have had a sort of a rotating door at first and second base in this young season. And Marsala is over at first base this afternoon. He made a good play in the first inning. And the left-handed hitter fouls it back. This is the first time this season that Marsala has started at first base. Hilltoppers have probably used a handful of first basemen, 3 different catchers, and I think 4 different second basemen. That's low. And this is a team that has jumped off to a 22-3 start, but they're still trying to find some answers at some positions.
Thomas from Monroe, Louisiana. I saw our friend Phil Cunningham is the new basketball coach at Louisiana Monroe. That's good to see.
Yep. Former head coach at Troy in the Sun Belt and in Conference USA. Actually, the pitch is a little away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Actually, Troy in the Sun Belt. They've not been in the Conference USA. Phil Cunningham was an assistant coach here at WKU, then had an assistant's job at ULM, and now he's the head man. 2-2 coming in. High fly ball to the left. Easy play out there for Autry. 1 away. 4 faced and 4 retired by Kendrick, and that'll bring in Camden Ross, the designated hitter.
The designated hitter, number 8, Camden Ross.
The most difficult position to play on this field at this point in time of the day is left field, looking right into the sun.
Right into the sun.
Ross is a .333 hitter.
And on a windy day, right field can be very interesting.
Ross flies it to right. Good timing, Greg. And lining up to make that catch is Blackman. The Hilltoppers have had 3 consecutive fly ball outs. This is exactly what Kendrick wants them to do to get the ball up in the air. He hit that one down around his ankles.
It looked like a 9-iron on that, Randy.
Next up for the Hilltoppers.
Kendrick has given up some home runs this year. 5 of them, in fact, in 24 innings.
Tell you, his control's been great in the early going.
Here comes Reed
Impressive.
Howard, true freshman shortstop. 5 faced and 5 retired by Kendrick in a 0-0 game in the second. And he was bluffing and took a pitch on the inside edge. Showed bunt. Brown came down the line from third base just in case. Back of the bag, great play by Brown, setting across the diamond throw in time. He threw a laser to first base.
Great job with the backhand catch there.
He made a terrific catch and a line drive over his head to start the Hilltopper first inning. After 2, no score. As you see the Kennesaw State flag blowing in from center. No, we are not in Atlanta. We're in Western Kentucky University. It's one of the Conference USA flags that are flying in around the stadium here. The Hilltoppers and Sam Houston in week 2 of the Conference USA baseball season in a 0-0 game. Sam Houston's record is not impressive, but listen to who they played. Among others, Rice, Houston, Nebraska, Kansas State, LSU, Oklahoma, a 3-game series, and Baylor.
What a schedule.
9 of their 17 losses are to those teams.
You know, in that location, you can put together a great schedule, Randy, with all those teams in the state of Texas.
Nottleman takes a strike.
Texas A&M, I mean, everything's within driving distance, most of it.
The Hilltoppers' best competition in terms of non-conference are to follow. It all starts next Tuesday at Vanderbilt. They did beat a very impressive Southern Illinois team, record-wise here, 21-2 at this ballpark. But they play Vandy, Kentucky, and Louisville. The Hilltoppers do, and that's to follow. 2 strikes on Nottleman, leading off the third. It's a scoreless game with Nick Dinnisfield. He bounces that one over to the dugout. Nottleman rolled one to third baseman Vasquez in his first at-bat. Nottleman just 2 for his last 14. Gets out of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Gets on base a lot, Randy. 6th in the league with 19 walks coming into the game.
Change-ups outside.
So he can get on base.
Coach Sirianni's brother is a head coach for the Nebraska Husker baseball team, assistant coach. So little contact there in that part of the state. And Lincoln may have bird dogged Nottleman and sent him here to Huntsville for his brother to coach. 3-2 as Bennett misses. Nottleman leading off the third scoreless game. Actually, it was not 3-2. Now it is 3-2. That pitch was just a little upstairs, apparently. Hilltoppers at position 3 of their infielders on the first base side of second against Nottleman once he reached 2 strikes. And he hits it against, over the shortstop, Howard with the throw, and he's safe. They hit it against the shift. The third baseman had moved to the first base side of second, so Nottleman bounces the ball to where the third baseman probably would have been able to cut it off. Maybe not. It's in the shortstop hole, and Howard bounced it over. That's all he could do, and Nottleman beats it out for an infield single. Now that I look at the replay, I don't think it would have mattered if the third baseman Vasquez would have been there or not. It's an infield single.
That would have been a tough throw to get him.
Bearcats like the bunt. Brown the batter. No score, third inning. Nottleman at first, no outs. Bunts it back to the mound. He gets it, flips the second for the force play. That's Bennett. We told you about his ability to field his position, and not many pitchers are going to make that play look so easily. Bennett fielding the bunt on 2 bounces and fires it to shortstop Howard, covering second as they get the lead runner.
Quick release on the throw. That made the difference.
1 out, 1 on now for Hunter Autry. He walked in his first at bat. Autry last year, second on the team with 9 homers and second in RBIs with 48. And that's a strike. It's nothing in 1.
And a clutch hitter, Randy. Game-winning RBI in both games when they played Houston. So he is a clutch hitter.
It's a ball near to center. Weidman has this one lined up and will grab it. 2 down for the Bearcats here in the third. And in a pitcher's ballpark like none other in this conference, and with a wind blowing in, it is a 0-0 game in the third. Addison Smith leads, comes up here now with a 2-down runner at first, and Smith loop one to left for a ground rule double in his first at bat. He now has hits in 9 of his last 10 games. He's 15 for his last 38 with a couple of long balls. Bennett's fastball's high and tight.
Now, would you call Latex Stadium the easiest to hit at? With the short?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'd say it has the shortest porch in the conference, the right center.
It has a reputation of being a launching pad.
I believe it's 340 to right center, believe it or not.
Oh, jeez.
Louisiana Tech and Sam Houston played last week in Huntsville. And Louisiana Tech took 2 out of 3 in the opening Conference USA weekend. Was popped up over near the Hilltopper third base dugout. Third baseman Vasquez over, and he makes a catch.
Great.
Went over into the dugout and backhanded it. Now, I don't know what has happened. The batter is returning to home plate. Vasquez caught it. It's not catcher's interference because Smith is still at the plate.
That's interesting.
The pitch counted. It's 0-2. I don't know if they're saying that he reached. I don't know.
I've never seen that happen before.
He reached over the railing in front of the dugout and made the catch. Throw to first is late. He did not go into the dugout. There's a little fence in front of the dugout, and he leaned over it and made the catch. A mystery. 2 down. And once again, he throws it back over.
Great move over to first base. Very effective and keeps the ball low every time he goes over there.
Brown has stolen 2 out of 3 tries this year. And he takes a ferocious swing and misses.
Came out of his shoes on that one, Randy. Jeez.
1 ball,
what
2
a
strikes.
swing.
Yeah.
He wasn't swinging for a single either.
He was not. He has hit a pair of home runs in his last 9 games. Bennett keeping a careful eye on Brown as he chases him back in. WKU has not had a good throwing year from any of their 3 catchers so far. Westbrook, who is starting today, was injured earlier in the year. And Brown chased back again. The game's at the top of the third. There's no score. In fact, the Hilltoppers haven't had a base runner yet. The Bearcats left the bases loaded in the first. Lifted foul down the left field line. Sam Houston has a proud heritage of baseball. It's a program that has won year after year after year. They've only had 1 losing season in their last 15 years. It's their 2nd year in Conference USA. Brown runs. Chopper right to short. Howard is there. Steps on second side, retired. If Brown's not running, who knows? Maybe Howard doesn't get there and cut that ball off at second base because he would not have been covering the bag. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We are in the middle of the 3rd inning here at Nick Dennis Field. The Hilltoppers and Bearcats are scoreless. Looking at Mark Reardon, 3rd-year head coach for Western Kentucky University. His record here at 91-51. And when he arrived, Greg, the Hilltoppers the previous year were in last place at the end of the season in Conference USA.
Coach Reardon's done a tremendous job here in a very short period of time. I'm going to be anxious to see if he tries to manufacture a run or do a little hit and run here coming up, Randy. This could be a low-scoring game.
Last year, the Hilltoppers finished 3rd in the Conference USA regular season, and he made it to the semifinals in the conference tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. At Iowa Western Community College, he was all about winning 3 World Series titles at the school located right across the river from Omaha in Council Bluffs. That pitch is a strike to Holler, the Hilltopper second baseman. 0-1. Austin Holler, blue-collar kind of player, 256 average. He's knocked in 5. This is inside. It's a ball and a strike. Kendrick has only had to throw 17 pitches in the first 2 innings to face 6 and retire 6.
Done a great job of throwing strikes and getting ahead of the batter.
That's beaten a turf foul down by first. In last week's series on the road at Kennesaw State, the Hilltoppers went into that series flying high with only 1 loss for the entire year, a 15-game winning streak. And they only managed a .228 batting average in that series. And they've been quiet so far in this game. Holler takes a strike 3 call. 7 faced and 7 retired from Kendrick. That'll bring in Anthony Westbrook, the WKU catcher.
Great placement on this pitch. Inside, jelly-legged him.
Anthony Westbrook.
Anthony Westbrook stepping in, starting for the 7th time. He has an RBI. He's been in a catching rotation. Hilltoppers have used 3 catchers. That's way inside to the left-handed hitter.
Now, has Camden Ross had a chance to catch? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's coming back from injury.
He was jammed on that pitch and fouls it away left side. Greg mentioned Camden Ross, who was a starting catcher for Western Kentucky University a year ago and then suffered an elbow injury, which shelved his season about 2/3 of the way through the conference series, or conference season. It's a little away. 2-1 to Westbrook. Hilltoppers have a couple of players who are sporting some quite stylish mustaches, and Westbrook is one of them. A little above the letters, 3-1. First time that Kendrick has been 3 balls to a hitter.
Great pitch.
Yeah. He'll make a living down there with the knee-high fastball. 3-2. Bottom of inning 3. No score.
I would say Anthony's going to be swinging away on this one.
Fly ball to left center. It's in the alley. Racing over and running it down with an over-the-head catch is Autry. There are 2 outs.
I'll tell you, when that came off the bat, Randy, I thought it was going to be a gapper. Great catch by Autry there.
To make a living today in the wind, you better hit line drives and ground balls. Fly balls may not work out. 8 faced and 8 retired by Noah Kendrick. How about this for his first weekend start of the year after only being a Tuesday start of the season?
Unbelievable. He's taken advantage of this opportunity.
Here's Joe Ciervo. Pops it up down the right field line. Over in foul territory and near the side brick wall is Blackman, and it's out of play. Over on University Boulevard. You can't see it on our screen, but on our TV set, but there's a very busy road that wraps around the University Boulevard, and many balls that are hit foul toward right field bounce in around the vehicles as they are heading home from work today. That's high. Especially this is what I would call a landlocked campus. There's not a lot of extra room to build things here.
No. And this time of day on a Friday, you're going to have a lot of traffic out there where the ball just landed.
2-1 count to Joe Ciervo. Starting in left field. He's made 8 previous starts. He's hitting .312 in limited play. But he has 10 RBIs and 32 at-bats, so he's been productive. And he watches that one come in high, 3-1. He walked 3 times in the Tuesday win at Evansville. And he's worked this count to 3-1 as he's trying to become Western Kentucky's University's first base runner against Noah Kendrick.
He's trying to talk the umpire into that one, Randy.
John Mang said, nope, young man, it's on the inside edge. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down and nobody on. Bearcats and Tops are scoreless. Chopper to shortstop hole by the diving shortstop Martinez. And on a 3-2 offering, Ciervo bangs it through on the artificial turf. And that's Hilltopper's first base hit.
There you see Gapper Hit it on the screws. Now let's see if the Hilltoppers can take advantage of getting their first runner on base.
Ciervo has speed in his limited play. He stole it 5 out of 5 times. Tyler Herbst, the first base coach, visiting with him. 2 down, 1 on for Carlos Vasquez. Scoreless game in the third. He's running now, stopping, and Vasquez checks a swing, and it's a strike. Vasquez has hits in 7 of his last 16 at-bats, and in 3 of his last 4 games, he has at least 2 hits.
What was?
Some kind of a warning. I missed it.
Maybe it's the pitch clock.
John Mang came out from behind home plate. There goes Ciervo. Pitches a ball. The throw down is late. And Ciervo has stolen his 6th base of the year. It's a ball and a strike to Vasquez. 2 down. No score. Vasquez lined one hard over the head of Brown at third, and he speared it for the out in his first at bat. He hits a lot of balls the other way to right and right center. Ground ball wide of first and foul. I was talking to him about that around the batting cage today, and he goes, well, everyone's pitching me away. I just have to go that way.
He tried on that last pitch. Carlos from Brazil. You don't see too many college players from Brazil.
It bounces, rolls to the right of the catcher, Marthiljani, and going to third base at a wild pitch is Ciervo.
All of a sudden, some control problems by Kendrick.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. No score. Game's in the last of the third. Vasquez trying to drive home Ciervo. Once again, they pitch him away. 3-2.
Vasquez has been very consistent throughout this season hitting.
He's not taking too many nights off, that's for sure. Chopper back up to Middle. Martinez behind second, gets there, fires it over in time, and that'll be the 3rd out. We've seen good glove work from Brown at third and Martinez at second for the Bearcats. No runs, 1 hit. Ciervo stranded at third base. We head to the 4th inning, and there's no score at the nick. Randy Lee and Greg Davis with you today through 3 innings. No runs and 2 base hits for the Bearcats, and for the Hilltoppers, 0 runs on 1 hit. It's been a pitching matchup between Jack Bennett and Noah Kendrick, and no one's been able to cross home plate yet. Bennett will be facing Frandon, Martinez, and Blackman, a couple of lefties and a righty, against the Hilltopper right-handed pitcher out of Paducah, Kentucky, about an hour and 45 minutes west of here, straight south of Illinois. Beautiful river town. They've done a great job at building up that downtown right there on the river. Pitches away, and for those of you who don't know and maybe have mothers or wives who are into quilting, the Quilting Hall of Fame is there in Paducah.
Did you stop by there last time you were in town, Randy?
Missed it. I don't go by Paducah much. My mother liked to go there, but at the grand young age of 89, her traveling days coming to see her son are over.
Great pitch.
Yeah, change up on the outside edge to Frandon.
Great location.
A ball and 2 strikes. And now with 2 down, the Tops will move their third baseman Vasquez to the first base side as second and move their second baseman Haller into shallow right field. Strike 3 called. Leonard high fastball. And Bennett has his second strikeout. Both on called third strikes. His first one was to Martinez, who's batting now, and it came with the bases loaded and no outs in that first inning.
Great location. Inside. Perfect.
Too tough to take with 2 strikes, Greg. Martinez 0 for 1. He had plans of maybe having him play center field this year as he swings through it. He was an all-conference freshman team member as a shortstop last season and played one game in center. There was an injury and things didn't go right on the infield, so he's back at short, and he's probably going to stay there. Bennett over the outside edge, and it's 0-2 to Martinez.
Check swing. Ooh. Randy, I thought that was a strike.
Don Andrews at first said, nope, he didn't go around.
Didn't he? His wrist break? Ooh.
Fly ball foul right side.
I would say with a 1-2 count, we're going to see a breaking ball here.
Jack Bennett in his 6th start. 4 wins, no losses. Changeups inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bennett, a former Kentucky High School Player of the Year for his exploits pitching and hitting. Struck him out swinging. 2 down for the Bearcats in the 4th.
Tell you
Here's
what,
Parker Blackman.
Bennett seems to be getting better and better the longer he goes today, Randy. Stronger and stronger.
A lot of dip to that pitch, looked like a changeup.
I remember another guy who's a pitcher from the state of Texas who got stronger and stronger as the game went. A guy named Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Workhorse.
They don't make those arms anymore, do they? And
No.
ball's bunted foul back of home. It's 0-1. They throw that hard, but they don't have the endurance that Nolan Ryan had.
I don't think we'll ever see somebody throw that many innings
I
or
have
pitches.
I have an odd hobby. I like to listen to old baseball games and then score them, like the game's live, okay? You know, I don't have a lot of spare time, but once in a while I'll find a game to follow along. And there's a strike. It's 0-2. So this past summer was a Nolan Ryan game. I don't remember the opponent, but I scored it. And one of my best friends in Tennessee is a big Nolan Ryan fan, so I sent him the box score. There's a ground at shortstop. Howard backhands. Throw over, and Marsala did get it. He did. A little bit low, but he scooped it. Good hands by Marsala. More on the Nolan Ryan story after this. We are in the middle of the 3rd inning. Western Kentucky University and the Bearcats of Sam Houston in a 0-0 game. We're in the 4th inning here at the Nick at WKU baseball field. Nick Dennis Field, actually named after a football and baseball coach. And the Tops and Bearcats are scoreless here on the Western Kentucky University campus. So back to my Nolan Ryan story. I'm scoring this game from, I don't know, 1973 or whatever. And took a picture, my scorecard after it and sent it to my friend in Tennessee who loves Nolan Ryan. And so he looked at it, he goes, and I count the pitches too. He goes, he threw 172 pitches or whatever amount it was. I said, yeah, he went like 12 innings and threw 172 pitches. I mean,
unbelievable.
Yeah, and that happened all the time,
You'll never see that. Wasn't it Sandy Koufax who they'd clinched the pennant and they had him throw over 200 pitches one game?
Could very well have been, yeah. Zama takes a strike. He is the left-handed batting right fielder. Rolled out to the shortstop in his first at bat. The Hilltoppers have managed only 1 base hit, and they've had 1 runner reach 3rd. Sinks low and away. Ball and a strike.
I'll tell you what, you got to be impressed by this Noah Kendrick kid on the mound. He's done a tremendous job through the first 3 innings here.
Kyle Simmons has to be ecstatic. His pitching coach, that's a strike. It's 1-2. Kyle Simmons from Nebraska, drafted by Washington in the 16th round back in 2016. He's the pitching coach at Sam Houston. The ball is tomahawk foul. Grand Island High School in the middle of Nebraska. Flat as a pancake. There's no water around. The school nickname, the Islanders, and they have palm trees, pictures of palm trees on the basketball court in the middle of Nebraska. High fly ball to shallow left. Autry coming over near that side brick wall, and it's out of play. As you can see to the left, that building they're still constructing, that will be a part of the brand new indoor facility for athletics that will be completed, signed, sealed, and delivered. They're hoping sometime around maybe early October.
Hey, the way things are going, I'd say you might see that ready in August, Randy. They've done a tremendous job in a very short period of time.
Greg is the Western Kentucky University Hilltopper tennis coach. Will you be able to use that for any particular?
I don't think they're putting indoor tennis courts there.
High pop fly into center. Left fielder coming over as well. He'll make the catch. That's Autry, 1 out. But in regards to athletic training, will some of the offices be in there for training and fitness, or?
I think so, and you'll have
so,
a great catch getting underneath it there. High fly ball. I think you'll have a lot of different sports using that and training in there, especially when the weather's bad. Baseball, football, track and field. Ooh.
Ryan Weidman just got nailed with a pitch. They go up and in, so he's on first base, and he leads the conference in stolen bases. He
didn't have a chance of getting out of the way of this one. Boom.
He's 19 for 23. And with the Hilltoppers not managing any offense right now against Kendrick, let's see if Weidman will take off. Normally he takes off with the first pitch or two. Thomas Marsala's a hitter. He's made a couple of good plays at first base with the glove today. And he flew out the left field back in the second inning. 1 on, 1 out. Weidman a gigantic lead. And he takes off. Pitch is inside, throw down. He slides.
Ooh.
Oh, they called him out. They say the tag hit him on the spikes. The base umpire said that he tagged him on the back of the foot as Weidman went in with the head first slide.
Coach Reardon immediately came out of the dugout and wants to have that reviewed.
There has been one play that is reviewed on a play at first. I think they'll probably overturn this one, don't you think?
Yes.
Let's see.
He's
Hand
in.
Down.
Yes.
The umpire indicated to Weidman that he hit him on, actually not on the bottom of the foot. It was to the outside of one of the calf on his left or right leg. You're not going to find anyone in college baseball who takes a larger lead than Weidman.
That was almost Joe Morgan, like on first base. I've never seen a lead like that. Remember when Joe used to have both feet on the carpet there at Riverfront Stadium in the old days?
Weidman, the son of a Clemson basketball player. He was born in Spain and spent his first 6 years in Spain, and then his parents relocated and came back to the States and been calling Marietta, Georgia home ever since. So he played in his hometown last week.
Had a lot of family there probably.
Yep. Had a first inning home run in the first game. But Kennesaw State held him in check in that series.
Let's see, we were talking about Lynchburg, and I'm going to need your list from Kennesaw as well of restaurants, Randy.
There are a few. Here's the replay again. Good throw.
Okay, he's there. He's in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's safe.
I mean, I'm amazed it's taken this long on that.
How many times have broadcasters said that over the years, Greg?
Hey, I had the idea, about 2 weeks ago? It's like a shot clock. They get 2 minutes or less. They have to make a decision.
I think all of us are all in.
Okay.
Players, coaches, broadcasters, and fans.
Yeah, we're all about shrinking the time of the game. So you have a limited amount of time to make the call.
It just makes too much sense for it to be put in play, I guess.
You got a pitch count.
Well, then again, not all parks are the same. Some places are more difficult to get to than others in regards to where the replay is set up. Let's say the camera goes down or it's not working correctly.
Safe.
So Weidman with the steal.
You're 2 for 2, Randy. I'm hitting 500, though.
I better stop while I'm ahead. Weidman at second, 1 out, 1 on. Hilltoppers looking for the first run of the game. It's a 0-0 game right now between the Tops and Sam Houston. Thomas Marsala, the hitter, and the count is a ball to him.
The bad part about that, too, your pitcher loses his rhythm when it gets delayed like that.
Weidman taking off, pitches outside, throw down. He's stolen third. And this is something he does on a common occurrence. In 2 pitches, he's gone from first to third.
Head first, just like Pete Rose used to do.
Greg with these Cincinnati Reds references. We now know who he grew up following. 2-0. Marsala with the speedy Weidman at third. And he cracks it to the second baseman. Weidman will score. Gathered up by Smith. The out is made. It's 1-0. So that's what speed does for you, Greg. You steal second on the first pitch to the hitter. You steal third on the second pitch to the hitter. And a ground ball makes it 1-0.
Situational baseball. Mark Reardon's very good at it. He manufactured a run. Hilltoppers in the lead 1-0 now.
On just 1 hit. Camden Ross, now the Hilltopper batter, the designated hitter, also catches. He flied to right in his first at bat. And it's a strike. Weidman now has swiped 21 out of 25 bases.
I mean, granted, we've only seen him for a few games this year.
That's outside.
I would say Weidman's one of the most talented players we've seen here on the Hill.
I believe you're right. They've asked me to compare him to Jake Sanford, who won the Triple Crown in the Sun Belt Conference days. It's low, too early to tell. This is just the second series at this level in Conference USA, but I believe he's the fastest player WKU has had since I arrived here in 2007.
Okay.
Ross lifts it to right center, racing over and making the catch is Lee, side retired. 1 run without a hit, none left, and through 4, WKU now leading 1-0 over Sam Houston from Nick Dennis Field on the Western Kentucky University campus. After a rocky first inning, Jack Bennett has really settled down. He's only allowed 1 base runner in the last 3 innings after getting out of that first inning jam with the bases loaded and 2 down. Bennett will be firing into Marthiljani, Lee, and Nonaman. Hitters 8, 9, and 1 in a Sam Houston Bearcat attack.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning.
Jay Sirianni, the head coach in his 6th year at Sam Houston, says, if I've been to Kentucky for a baseball game, I don't recall, maybe years ago, somewhere maybe over in eastern Kentucky, but he goes, I think it's the first time I've ever been to Kentucky for a baseball game, and he says, this is a wonderful area. There's a breaking ball in there to Marthiljani for a strike.
The locals love the Hilltoppers. Very well supported.
To his left is Vasquez to grab it off his left knee, and he throws him out. There have not been great plays made by anyone yet today, but they made some tough plays, Greg.
Yes, yeah. Good job of keeping the ball in front, as you can see here. Vasquez, and a good throw. Quick release. Looks like we've got somebody up pitching in the bullpen, Randy, for the Tops. This might be Jack's last inning.
He's thrown as many as 90 pitches in the game. I have him with 65 coming into the 5th inning. Lee takes a breaking ball inside. Lee flied to center in his first at bat. The bullpen's at Nick Dennis Field in behind the left and right field fence. Slow grounder to third. 3 bouncer picked up by Vasquez. Over across the diamond in time. 2 down.
Great pitch. Right in on the hands. Really jammed him.
Jack Bennett has retired 8 consecutive Bearcats, and now it's Grant Nodelman, ground out at an infield single. He's hit the ball to the left side of the diamond 2 times, grounded to third, and his single was in the shortstop hole. Nodelman takes a strike.
Now, Randy, that would be a great question to ask you. When was the last complete game you've seen a pitcher pitch over the last few years?
Man, I couldn't even tell you. In college, well, even in the major leagues. There's a breaking pitch that's in there. Nothing in 2. 2 down, nobody on. Yeah, I can't recall one right now. And he strikes him out looking.
Great pitch.
A changeup over the outside corner. Sam Houston goes quickly and quietly, 1, 2, 3. Couple of ground balls into the glove of Vasquez at third, and then that called third strike as Nodelman goes down. And we are in the middle of 5th, tops up 1-0. A year ago, these two teams played in Huntsville, Texas. A lot of runs scored in that series. Friday night, WKU won it 7-5. Bearcats came back and 10-run ruled the Hilltoppers on the Saturday, 10-0. And then the Hilltoppers secured the series with an 8-7 thriller on Sunday. It has been pitching dominated here today, and it's 1-0 in the last of the 5th inning as we're looking at Noah Kendrick. Coming into this game, Kendrick had a batting average against of .293 and a good ERA at 3.57. Reed Howard, the hitter. 4 homers, 16 knocked in, hitting .312 for the year. Howard with a 5-game hitting streak. He's 8 for his last 19. He grounded out at his first at bat, rips it foul down the left field side. It's a strike.
Good to see Reed getting some playing time here. One of the younger players on the roster. I think his future's bright, Randy.
Yes, it is. Mark Reardon called him the shortstop of the future. He didn't know his future would be so soon, though. Starting shortstop Berrigan went down with a shoulder injury. He's back now, but he can't get Howard out of the lineup. He's been too tough. Howard beats that one at a turf foul, and it's 0-2. Howard from Indiana, son of a high school coach. And for someone with the, a body like his, he doesn't have a lot of meat on his bones. He has some power. He's hit 4 homers and a bunch of doubles. He sends this one to the left field corner and it hooks foul about .315 from home plate.
They are not even guarding the right side. They're really shifted heavy to left field and the infield especially.
Now they're going to bring the second baseman over on the third base side of a second. This is the 19th home game for the Hilltoppers. Anytime you go 22-3 in baseball, it's an amazing feat. That being said, WKU's schedule has not been as daunting at this stage of the season as Sam Houston's. And the Hilltoppers have played a ton of home games. They are 18-0 at home. That is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They've lost at Murray State in a 10-inning extra inning game, and they lost also at Kennesaw State 2 out of 3. That ball's fouled away.
Tell you what, any sport, if you can go 22-3, it's a great accomplishment. Basketball, any sport. Fantastic start for the Hilltopper baseball team here.
It's actually the best start in the history of Conference USA baseball, not just here at WKU. Pitch comes in. It's lifted to left, back near the track, and it's grabbed there by Autry. 1 away.
That wind blowing in didn't give it a chance. As you can see, it's just right into the teeth of that wind, Randy. It just knocks it down.
Kendrick also keeping the ball down around the ankles of Howard. 1 away now for Holler. Struck out looking in the third. He had his second 2-hit game of the season in the Wednesday win at Evansville. I should say the Tuesday win at Evansville against the Purple Aces. Breaking balls down around his knees. That's a strike. Kendrick keeping everything down. It's been impressive.
Very talented young pitcher.
Low and away. Sam Houston with 2 major leaguers now on opening day rosters. Pitch comes in. Colton Cowser and Ryan O'Hearn, both with the Baltimore Orioles, played at Sam Houston. Cowser is a first-round draft pick. This past year, the Bearcats also had a first-round draft pick from their catcher. That's inside, and it is 3 balls and 1 strike.
Hitters count for Holler here. Of course, he's from California. Usually these warm climate players, they heat up as the weather heats up, Randy.
He misses low, and he's on. Speaking of the Sam Houston catcher, Walter Janik, 28th pick in last year's draft, made it to high A ball after his college season, and that's where they're going to start him out at. And as we were talking about Janik today, Jay Sirianni, the head coach at Sam Houston, said that's a great organization for him to be in because right now the Astros are void of catching in the minor leagues, and Janik's a catcher, so we wish him well. 1 out, 1 on now for Westbrook. Fly to left center his first at bat. Hilltoppers up 1-0 in the 5th inning when he takes a letter high strike.
You ever seen a game at Minute Maid Park in Houston?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a pitch. Nope, throw over to first. Seen one game there. The old Astrodome was there for a couple games. Never saw the Oilers play there, but saw the Astros play. Astrodome still standing.
Yeah, they saved it.
You have to save the 8th wonder of the world,
Yes,
right?
I agree with that, 100%.
He waved at that pitch. Great breaking ball down and in.
He tricked him on that one. Great location.
2 strikes on Westbrook. WKU trying to figure out Noah Kendrick. It's not been easy. He's only allowed 1 hit. And it's low.
Speaking of the Astrodome, our good friend Bill the Mosquito Martin played an umpire in the Roy Scheider baseball film that was filmed at the Astrodome. There you go.
Holler with a big lead. They chase him back. Holler is what I would call an intelligent base runner. He's not the fastest player on this team by far.
He's got a great lead right now.
Off the inside edge to Westbrook. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hilltoppers have action in their bullpen. Nobody throwing for Sam Houston. Sam Houston's game plan in series this year on weekends is to, they have their proven starter will pitch tomorrow. And they will staff the games Wednesday and Sunday, do anything they can to get wins. He's running, it's inside, no throw down. Holler steals without a throw. And it's 3-2 to Westbrook.
That's 4 for 4, right?
It is.
Today for the Hilltoppers. They're really testing the catcher. Payoff pitch.
Here it comes. Chopper up the middle, grabbing it near second base is Martinez. He throws out Westbrook. Holler moves to third. He's there with 2 outs. Ryan Peterson will get the start tomorrow for Sam Houston. Despite a 1-5 record, he's pitched pretty well. He's their ace. And they approach his starts a little differently than they do the Friday and Sunday starts. Ciervo single to left for the only Hilltopper hit of the game. And he's up there now with 2 outs and Holler at third base at a 1-0 Hilltopper lead. Low and away.
Yep.
At this rate, Greg, you'll get home, be able to get a set or 2 in before it gets dark.
Yeah, possibly. Get that late workout in, Randy. They're playing back pretty deep. They're not expecting him to bunt.
He swings through it. It's a ball and a strike.
One good swing here, and the Hilltoppers are up 2-0.
Ciervo does have a tendency to strike out. In 7 of his last 14 at-bats, he struck out. Punches it off to the right now to play. It's a ball, then 2 strikes. WKU had a base runner get to third in the third. Weidman was hit with the pitch in the fourth, stole second, stole third, scored on a ground ball. And now Holler, who walked, is at third base, following a steal and a ground out. Ciervo punches it back of home and foul. The sun has left us. It was a 75-degree first pitch temperature today with the wind blowing in at 13 miles an hour. I don't believe the wind is blowing in as much now. Doesn't feel like it, at least. Ciervo drives it left center,
Gapper.
Deep, and it is going to be off the bottom of the wall. A run is scored. Ciervo flying around second. Ciervo will go into third without a throw. And the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky University have a 2-0 lead. On most days with the wind not blowing in, that's a bomb for a home run. It hit the bottom of the wall as Autry is chasing it. Running to his left. The left fielder's on the warning track, reaches out, and it's the bottom of the wall in the air. And Ciervo now ending up at third base with that run-scoring triple. He has both Hilltopper hits as he secures his first three-bagger of the year.
We could see a new pitcher for the Hilltoppers. Looks like Hartman's warming up. Lucas Hartman in the bullpen, Randy.
High and tight to Vasquez. Hartman is the middle reliever. He can pitch multiple times in a week. Here it comes. Vasquez takes it high. 2 balls, no strikes. Meanwhile, no one at all in the Sam Houston bullpen. Vasquez has lined out the third and grounded out the shortstop. Chopper over the pitcher's glove. Backhand play by the second baseman. The throw to first is a beauty.
What a play.
Addison Smith. Boy, that's some play, Greg. Racing to his right, the backhand, and his off-balance throw is on line. Vasquez is out, but the Tops are now up 2-0 after 5.
Jack Bennett coming out, and he will start the sixth. He's done a tremendous job so far, Randy, limiting the Bearcats to 2 hits and no runs. Five-inning totals, Bearcats, 0 runs, 2 hits, no errors. And for the Hilltoppers, 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. As we see Jack Bennett get ready, we're probably looking at his last inning, wouldn't you think, Randy?
I would think so, yeah. This will be Bennett's 31st pitching inning of the year, all right? 31 innings he's pitched this year. He has allowed runs, as his first pitch comes in here tight, he has allowed runs in 2 of the 31 innings, of the 30 previous innings he's pitched this season.
What a streak.
Inside to Brown. Lines it, and it's a base hit to right field. Gathering up on the turf is Lozama, and Blake Brown is on with his first base hit. The third for the Bearcats. Here's Hunter Autry. He has walked and flied to center field.
Now, you said Bennett was from Paducah, correct?
Yes.
So you'll have to ask him if he's been to the Hall of Fame there that you were talking about.
I bet his mom's been there and his grandparents. I don't know if he's been there or not.
I want to see the look on his face when you ask that.
Don't know if he's a big quilter or not. Counted a miss by Autry and a changeup. Ciervo's triple after the Holler walk has provided the Hilltoppers with a 2-0 lead as Bennett pitches in the 6th inning. It's fouled straight back. 2 strikes on Autry. In another sport on campus for Sam Houston, their football program, they are renovating their current football stadium and will not be playing in it this year. So during the conference basketball tournament earlier this month, I was talking to Carlos Gonzalez, their play-by-play announcer, and pitch was low. At that point in time, a decision had not been reached as to where the football team would play their home games at this year. I asked Jay Sirianni, the head baseball coach. He says, I don't know. He goes, I hunkered down in my bunker And
there you go.
You know about that.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be shocked to see them
That's outside.
play in Houston. That would be a possibility.
Yep.
Over at Reliant Stadium. It's only about a 45-minute to an hour drive.
Bennett throws it over.
Tell you what, Bennett's got a quick release on that move to
He
first
sure does.
base, and it's always low. He hits his spot every time. Never seen him throw the ball over there high.
He's also a pitcher who does pay close attention to the runners who are on base. Not many teams take advantage of him in terms of the running game. A little late cut and a miss, and Autry struck out swinging. And Bennett has now struck out 5. His season high for a game is 7.
Great pitch.
And that was in his 7-inning win over Central Michigan.
Right down the middle, great pitch.
Smith has doubled and popped out to the shortstop, I should say bounced out to the shortstop, Howard. At his knees for a strike. Bennett for the Hilltoppers and Kendrick for the Bearcats, keeping everything down. A lot of movement, similar pitchers, same style, and both have been dominant today. Bennett throws it over.
You know, Brown's only stolen 3 bases this year, or 3 attempts.
2 steals and 3 tries.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Bennett's been very concerned about him for some reason on first base. He's thrown over probably 10 times.
Pitch is bounced. The bunt try, he missed the ball. It's a strike, and on a wild pitch, Brown ends up at second base. So it was a breaking ball that bounced in the turf. Addison was squaring to bunt, but not able to get a hold of it. Missed it for a strike, and it's a ball and a strike.
I was getting ready to call that a foul ball, Randy. I thought he made contact.
I did too. Apparently not. It's right in there. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Smith.
Great pitch. Bennett had that rough first inning, and after that, he's really settled down.
Smith now has hits in 9 of his last 10 games. He's been the hottest hitter for Sam Houston. And he cracks it foul down the right field line, up on the party deck, and it nearly toppled over a fan. Two balls, 2 strikes. We're having a different kind of promotion here tomorrow. The Bowling Green Hot Rods is a high A level team of Tampa. And many of their players will be out here tomorrow signing autographs. Their season getting ready to start. Swing and a miss. And that's now back-to-back strikeouts and 6th in the game for Bennett. 2 down.
The Hot Rods are very popular here in Bowling Green.
First baseman, number 7.
Sinker.
Just
Man, the
sunk
bottom,
it right down around his ankles.
bottom fell out on that one. Great pitch.
Frandon with a walk and a strikeout looking. 2 down, runner at second. Hilltoppers leading the Bearcats 3-0. Game is in the top of the 6th inning. Down and in. Just missed away. 2-0. We haven't seen Bennett fall behind 2-0 in many an inning.
Probably the first inning.
High. He had 2 walks in the first, hasn't had a walk since. He's now 3-0 to Frandon. And it's high. Bennett walks him on 4 pitches. After back-to-back strikeouts, he has a 4-pitch walk to Frandon. Lucas Hartman in the Hilltopper bullpen, as Greg has alluded to. And here comes Jace Martinez.
If I'm correct, is that a 3rd walk for Bennett?
Yep.
And he had 3 the whole season coming into the game.
The entire season.
Yeah, in 25 innings.
Yes. He is acting like this is going to be his last batter. Dylan Napoleon on his way to the mound. And just Jack's body language is indicating that he feels Coach Napoleon is going to make a change. And he has. In fact, he made that change before he got to the mound, maybe taking the thought process out of Bennett's mind to talk him out of it.
Yep, yeah. Bennett's a competitor.
So Lucas Hartman, who has been extremely successful as a middle reliever for the Hilltoppers, is running in for the left field bullpen. And we'll be back after this as WKU leads it 2-0 in the 6th. Right-hander Lucas Hartman now taking over for Western Kentucky University. It's his 8th game. And like most of the Hilltopper pitchers, he's been very successful. This pitching staff is number 2 in the nation in earned run average right now, only behind the defending national champion Volunteers of Tennessee. And like Bennett, Greg, Hartman, 20 strikeouts and only 4 walks.
Hey, I've watched him a couple times this season. Great control, knows how to throw strikes, and very effective pitcher so far this season.
Unofficially, I have Bennett throwing 88 pitches. 90 is his season high. He goes 88 today by my count and leads with a 2-0 lead as Hartman comes in. Hartman pitched in 1 game this past weekend against Kennesaw State. Worked 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run with 3 strikeouts. Hartman has worked as many as 4 innings in a game out of the bullpen. He's had 4 other games where he has worked into his 3rd inning of relief. 2 on, 2 down, 2-0 Hilltoppers over Sam Houston in the 6th. And Martinez steps up with a strikeout, looking at a strikeout, swinging.
Hartman's got to be very careful here, Randy. 1 bad pitch and we've got a tie game.
The right-handed tossing Hartman fires it over for a strike. Hartman with a sinking fastball. He's 5'10" and 210 pounds out of Bradenton, Florida. He pitched in junior college in Florida. Down and away.
I like his control, Randy. 17.2 innings and only 4 walks. And I like the strikeout ratio as well with 20.
1-1 coming in. A strike on the inside edge. Borderline call. Martinez backs out with no argument. Martinez out of Baytown, Texas, not too far from Houston.
I'd say about 30 minutes away.
Hartman to the plate. Down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Bearcats have left 4 on, including the bases loaded in the 1st inning. Low and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. In Martinez's outings this year, he has not had any relief role where he's walked more than 1. Only 4 walks the entire year. So now the runners will be off to the races on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Get one in the alley, and Sam Houston can do some damage right here. They take off. The pitch is fouled away at the plate.
It was a good pitch. Fastball in.
WKU scoring 1 run in the 4th. Weidman was hit with a pitch, stole 2nd, stole 3rd, and scored on a Marsala ground ball to make it 1-0. And then in the 5th, Holler walked, steals 2nd, moves to 3rd on a ground ball, and scores on the Ciervo triple. Strike 3 as he swings through it. Hartman strikes out Martinez, who's had a tough day at the plate. 3 at-bats and 3 Ks. He strikes out swinging. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 left. Hartman shuts the door, and the Hilltoppers maintain their 2-0 lead over Sam Houston. Bearcat starter Noah Kendrick out for inning 6. Right now in the 26th game of the season for Sam Houston. This is only the 4th time that a Bearcat starting pitcher has gone through 5 innings, Greg Davis.
I'll tell you, his control's been good so far today, Randy. I mean, he's only given up 2 hits.
He's a pitcher who doesn't strike out many, doesn't walk many, and that has been his deal today. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 2 base hits is all, and he's allowed 2 runs. A stolen base has hurt him. Weidman went from first to third on a couple of steals, and Haller stole second. Because of their steals, they were able to move around the bases, and they were able to score. One on the ground ball, then, of course, a triple would have scored Haller from first, irregardless.
Well, this will definitely be his last inning with someone up throwing in the bullpen for the Bearcats.
High to Lizama, and it's a ball.
Of course, Kendrick from the Nederland, which is part of the Golden Triangle there down in Texas.
A little away, 2-0.
Now, Randy, do you know what towns are the Golden Triangle?
No, I do not. I guess that would be Dallas, Fort Worth, and
no, it'd be Beaumont, Nederland,
I'm way off.
and Port Arthur.
There's a shot to right, a sinking line drive over the head of the right fielder Blackman to the wall and bounces over for a ground rule double.
Great swing by Lizama. As you see the replay, he tattooed it.
That ball had a lot of topspin. I didn't think for sure that it would bounce over the fence after it hit that carpet, but it did. And that's just the Hilltoppers' third base hit. Lizama at second with no outs. Here comes Ryan Weidman. In the bullpen for the Bearcats is Devin Bennett. Dylan O'Connell's now going to run for Lizama. Keep a close eye on Lizama. This is something that doesn't normally happen for WKU. Lizama being lifted from a game.
Tells me that Coach Reardon wants an insurance run here.
Dylan O'Connell with a lot of speed comes in and runs for Lizama. Weidman has fly to center, has been hit with a pitch. Leading Conference USA in numerous offensive statistics. And he takes it to the outside edge, strike 1. But since he was named the hitter of the week 2 weeks ago, he has been held down the last week plus early in this game. It's low. It's a ball and a strike. Weidman is now just 4 for his last 15. You can't be Superman every week, can you?
No, you can't. Hilltoppers 4 for 4 in stolen bases today so far. Wonder if they're going to send him this time. Been very successful.
Weidman smokes it to left. It is bouncing in front of the left fielder. Now it gets by him. Here comes Weidman around first. Weidman on his way to second. Weidman coming to third. And the relay throw will be extremely late. And Weidman has his 5th triple of the year. That's a very difficult play for Autry to make. It's a sinking line drive right at his shoe tops. He is looking into the sun a little bit, and it got under his glove as it bounced right at the tip of his toes, and Weidman diving into third base with a triple. And the Hilltoppers now have a 3-0 lead, and time is now called as Jay Sirianni will come to the mound to visit with his pitcher, Noah Kendrick.
I would say we're going to see a switch here, Randy. I think he's going to stall and give him some extra time to throw a couple more warm-up pitches and probably bring somebody in from the bullpen. Looks like they've got 2 pitchers up.
Bennett is one of them, a right-hander. Sam Houston only has 2 left-handed pitchers on their entire staff. It's Bennett, the right-hander, with Zach Johnson, who's also a right-hander out of Shiner, Texas.
I know where that's at. You've been to the factory, I'm sure.
No, I have not. So move will be made as the game is in the top of the 6th inning. Western Kentucky University now leading Sam Houston 3-0. Here from Bowling Green, Kentucky on ESPN+. Zach Johnson now taking over for Sam Houston. 10 games, 1 up, 1 down. He's not had a good year so far, 8.71 earned run average, but he does have 14 strikeouts in 10 1/3 innings. And he is out there representing the family of a former head coach at Sam Houston.
Yeah, Mark Johnson's grandson, I believe.
Mark Johnson, the head coach at Sam Houston from 2006 through 2013. Mark Johnson, also former head coach at Texas A&M. So Zach Johnson is in. Noah Kendrick goes 5 innings. Only allows 4 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Right now 3 runs, and all 3 are earned. Zach Johnson's last game was against Texas. He worked 1 inning, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. He pitched at Temple College in Texas and junior college the last couple of years and worked in 28 games and had 3 wins and a couple of saves. Thomas Marsala, the Hilltopper hitter. He's knocked in 22 this year on a couple of home runs. He's knocked in 1 today on a ground ball to second base, bringing Weidman in from third base to make it 1-0. With the Bearcats now down 3-0, they can't afford to fall further behind, so they have to bring the infield in and try to cut off that runner, Weidman, at third base. Johnson's first pitch. It is launched high and deep to right, and Marsala has homered as he sends it over the right field bullpen. So he launches that pitch over the bullpen in right. Johnson has now allowed 4 home runs in 10 1/3 innings pitched, and Lizama has propelled the Hilltoppers to a 5-0 lead.
That was a no-doubter, Randy. We knew it right off the bat. He clocked it. Boom.
Earlier this year, Lizama hit one of the longest home runs that longtime spectators have seen at this ballpark, high and deep over the double-deck wall in center field, and that one was launched as well. That'll bring in Camden Ross.
That one's still rolling, Randy.
Ross has flied out twice, once to right and once to right center, and it's upstairs from Johnson, and it's a ball, then no strikes.
Tell you what, Camden's a great hitter, 323 on the season. You rarely see him have a game where he doesn't get a hit.
Former Colorado High School Baseball Player of the Year, takes it outside, 2-0.
What time of the year you think to get outside in Colorado?
June.
June? Yeah. It's a 1-month season?
I'm exaggerating slightly, but nonetheless, that's a little low.
How about in Nebraska when you were there?
They would.
March, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, you'd fight snow to play baseball that time of year. You get a little action in outdoors. North Dakota and South Dakota do not have high school baseball. They just play American Legion baseball.
I have
Maybe
no
Montana
idea.
would be the same. I don't know. It's just it's just too cold. Not enough time to have a high school season. Ross takes the strike. It's 3-1. Hilltoppers in this inning have 3 runs, double by Lizama, a Weidman triple, and a Marsala homer. And Ross fouls it away at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bearcats sending more pitchers to the right field bullpen. And right now the Hilltoppers have secured a 5-0 6th inning lead. Hyde Ross, and he's on with a walk. It's only the 2nd walk tonight from Sam Houston's pitching staff. Here comes Howard, ground ball to third, fly ball to left. Ross with an old school look at first. A bearded junior with a lot of eye black on. Righty against righty, Johnson against Howard. And he cracks it down the right field line and sinking quickly, base hit. Rounding second, going to third to be Ross. Throw will be cut off by the second baseman, Smith from Blackman. And now the Hilltoppers have hit for the cycle in this inning. Single, double, triple, homer, and then add in a walk to the first 5 batters.
As you see the replay, Howard fought that pitch off, went to right field, advanced the runner. Reed's done a great job this game. Not just in the field, but hitting as well.
Johnson has faced 3. He's allowed a homer, a walk, and a single. And it'll be Holler, who has walked and struck out. one of the fancy mustached players the Hilltoppers have. Puts a little work into his. Big high bouncer off the turf, waiting for the hop as a second baseman. He lobs it high to first and everyone's safe. Smith had time once he jumped in the air to grab the high bouncer, and then sort of threw it like a shot put. And the throw was high.
Is that going to be an error, Randy?
It should be, I think.
Throwing error? Yes. Throwing error on the second baseman.
Yep. And on that bouncing ball, Ross scores. So it's 6-0. So it is an infield single for Holler. Ross running, scores from second. Pitch to Westbrook, down and in. How about that great base running by Ross with help from the Hilltopper third base coach to score from second on a high bouncer to second base? Because the ball did not get away from Frandon at first. He just had to leap in the air to bring it in. Rob Fournier, the Hilltopper third base coach, but in the air, coming down from third to grab it is Brown, and that's the Hilltoppers' first out in the sixth inning.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked by this bunt. I don't think Coach Reardon's going to be very happy about the execution on that one. Especially with the Hilltoppers looking to break this game open, Randy. No outs, 2 guys on.
6-0 lead for Siervo. He has singled and tripled. His triple drove home a run to make it 2-0. And he takes a strike from Johnson.
That was a clutch hit for Joe. You see he's hitting .353 on the season. He's hit well. Very consistent hitter all season.
Let's earn him some more playing time, you would think. High pop fly up into the clouds. Second baseman Smith on the infield turf secures it. There are 2 outs. And now it'll be Vasquez, who has been held down today, which doesn't normally happen. He's 0 for 3. 7 for his last 18. He's had either 2 or 3 hits in 3 of his last 4 games. Vasquez had a good series against Kennesaw State, 4 for 11, 3 RBIs, a couple of doubles.
380 on the season.
Ground ball to short. To his left is Martinez, underhanding to second, side retired. But a productive inning for the Hilltoppers as they score 4 runs and send 9 to the plate. 4 runs on 5 hits and a runner left, and through 6, WKU leading 6-0. Standing Hilltoppers leading 6-0, so everything is bright and cheery here for the home team, but we would like to send out our condolences to the family and friends of Dan Mosier, former WKU baseball player in 1981 and 1982. Received 2 degrees here at Western Kentucky University, came back here and was an assistant coach for Joe Murray from 1990 through 2004. Dan Mosier passed away due to cancer earlier this week. And in his 3 years here at Western Kentucky University, Mark Reardon became a very good friend with Dan Mosier. And we wish all of his family and friends our condolences as we lost a great Hilltopper athlete and coach. Parker Blackman leading off for the Bearcats in the 7th. Hartman out there in relief of Bennett. He smokes it to center, and that's a base hit for Blackman.
Let's see if Lucas can keep it going here. Came in, did a great job last inning, Randy. As you see, fastball down the pipe there. They were sitting on it.
Marthel Johnny, now the hitter, catcher, right-hander, lined out to center, flat and grounded out to third base. Hartman zipped it by.
It's a great pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Hartman may have as much movement as any pitcher on this team with this fastball outside of a Hilltopper pitcher who is trying to make it all the way back after some elbow problems, Dawson Hall.
Yeah. He's got a tremendous amount of movement. Wonder what's going on here.
Well, the trainer is coming out after that swing and a miss by Martha Johnny, Had a big cut and missed it. And then he started walking down the third baseline. Shane Wedd, who's a third base coach, started talking to him, and then the trainer and head coach Sirianni trotted out in his direction. Hard to guess. And nowadays, I'm not saying this is what it is, but you hear so many lat muscle injuries on swings. When I grew up, I didn't ever heard what a lat muscle was. When did we start developing lat muscles?
I've never seen somebody have it at the plate. He's staying in.
Yeah. I thought maybe it was a wrist. That would have been my guess. Hard to tell, though. Nonetheless, he'll stay in. It's one strike. Runner goes. Breaking ball's in there. Throw down on the money, but late. Didn't have a chance. Down 6-0. Surprised that the Bearcats would steal. They caught the Hilltoppers napping on that play, and it's a stolen base. WKU more concerned, though, with a 6-run lead with the hitter than the base runner. Here's Hartman's pitch. He bounced it. It's knocked down by Westbrook, swing and a miss. He looks the runner back to second, throws to first.
Nice
There's
play.
an out.
Way to stay with the play and not panic. Good throw by Westbrook. Another good pitch by Hartman.
Hartman has faced 3 hitters and struck out 2 of them. Nasty breaking ball. Good block of the pitch by Westbrook. Brady Christensen is now hitting for Sam Lee. Christensen is battling an ankle injury. He's been used primarily lately as a pinch hitter. And then if he does get on, they've been lifting him for a pinch runner. Christensen, the batter. 1 out and 1 on. Hilltoppers up 6-0 in the 7th. And he breaks it over for a strike. There's a cut and a miss. And it is no balls and 2 strikes. Christensen has the highest batting average on the team at .304. 2 home runs, 14 knocked in.
Looks like he's pitched in the past as well, Randy, in 2023. He had 5 appearances.
It bounces, knocked down by Westbrook, but no throw. And Blackman ends up at third base on a wild pitch. And it is a 1-2 count to Christensen. This is Christensen's first at-bat since March 16th because of that ankle injury. Here it is. Fouls it back. We'd like to thank the really good work from both baseball sports information directors who have done a good job of providing us some of their notes of individual players. Jack Todd at Western Kentucky University. That is off the inside corner. And it is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great pitch.
Hartman just picks up his 3rd strikeout. 2 down.
Doing a really good job, Randy, of keeping the ball down and low. Bottom just falls out from under it. Boom.
There you go. If you haven't been to the plate in about 12 days, that's a tough pitch to hit. Ben Ricard, this outstanding work from Sam Houston, helping us out here today. Nottleman stepping up, left-handed batter. It's low. Hartman bouncing a lot of pitches, but Westbrook has stayed in front of all of them. There is a danger now of a wild pitch with the runner at third, but he blocked it nicely. Westbrook, of the 3 Hilltopper catchers, is the best defensive catcher. And he swings through that pitch from Hartman, and it's a ball and a strike. Hartman has struck out as many as 4 in a relief role. That was in 2 innings. And it's bounced over by first base. The game plan in Mark Reardon's 3 years as the head coach for WKU is to have his starters give him 4, and then build your bullpen. A couple of middle relievers, a closer, maybe a couple setup guys, and it has worked for the Hilltoppers in each of his 3 years. And this year, it's at a high level, and he chases one that bounces again, picked up by Westbrook. He'll throw over the shoulder of the base runner, Nottman coming to first base, and throws him out. And Hartman, after surrendering a leadoff single to Blackman, strikes out Marthiljohny, Christensen, and Nottman all swinging. We head to the home half of the 6th inning, make it the 7th, and the Tops are up 6-0. Zach Johnson's day is over after just 1 inning of work for Sam Houston. Gave up a couple of hits. There was an error behind him. And now a new pitcher for the Bearcats in the last of the 7th, with Western Kentucky University leading 6-0.
Looks like Connor Monday's coming in to pitch for the Bearcats. So far this season in 3 appearances, he's got a 0.00 ERA. So he's pitched 1.2 innings, hasn't pitched a whole lot, given up 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 2 base on balls. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Hilltoppers can rattle him a bit.
With a 6-0 deficit, Bearcats not opting to go to one of their proven relievers, saving that arm for a closer game on Saturday or Sunday. Monday out of League City, Texas, at his high school in Clear Springs, the all-time career saves leader, 6'2", 180-pound freshman. Dylan O'Connell, the Hilltopper leadoff batter, the last of the 7th inning. He came in to run for Lizama after Lizama doubled over the fence in the 6th, and it's high to the speedy right-handed batting left fielder. 1 ball, no strikes. O'Connell takes that one to his knees, and it is a ball and a strike.
Dylan's got a lot of playing time so far this season.
He has. He was penciled in as the day in and day out starting left fielder, but with a hamstring problem, missed him some time. There's a 2-bouncer to second, and O'Connell is out.
Next up for the Hilltoppers,
Weidman digging in. We've seen his speed today. 2 steals and a triple. He's also been hit with a pitch. 1 for 2, 2 runs scored and an RBI. Hits it high in the air to left, but room for Autry. Now gives way to the center fielder, comes way over, and that is the catch there made by, I think that is Nottman, who has now moved over to center field.
Yeah, he got underneath that. You can see just kind of hung up there. I was getting ready to say the wind's kind of died down, but it's still going enough to where that's an obstacle to get it outside, especially when you're hitting it towards the 370, 400 mark.
Actually, Blackman has now moved from right field to center. 2 outs. A strike now to Hilltopper pinch hitter
Henry Brown.
Yep, Henry Brown. Take a look at that mustache. The best on the team, I would assume, if people were voting. Down and away. I've not been affiliated with a college baseball team with so many players who are sporting mustaches as this one.
Of course, we know what professional team growing up had mustaches and facial hair. Not one of my favorite teams.
Oakland A's from the 70s.
Oakland A's, absolutely.
Brown's been a valuable role player for WKU. Can play 3 infield positions and has power. He hammers on a 1 bounce to third, grabbed by Brown across the diamond throw, and Henry Brown is thrown out by Blake Brown, and they're not related. We will head to the 8th. Hilltoppers are up 6-0 in the opening game of this 3-game series at Nick Dinner's Field on ESPN+.
After 7 innings, your score.
Randy and Greg with you on ESPN Plus today. We'll have another ESPN telecast tomorrow. That will start at 1 o'clock. The game is scheduled to be played at 4, but because of weather, they've decided to go at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So join us for another ESPN telecast tomorrow. I'll be back on radio and the Varsity app.
Now playing second base for the Hilltoppers.
Who's doing the baseball game on TV tomorrow?
Let's see.
When I turn in.
Here's Henry Brown going into second base. That would be Matthew Hargrove.
Okay.
How about in third base for number 1, Blake Brown?
And Bart Darrell tomorrow.
There you go.
Blake Brown, the hitter, he has one of 4 hits for the Bearcats, and he takes a strike from Hartman. Hilltopper pitchers have combined for 5 Ks through 7 innings, and this is the 14th time this year in game number 26 that the Bearcat hitters have struck out at least 10 times in a game. Brown sends that one off to the right and foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Brown with the 7th inning single. The Bearcats have threatened. They had the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first, and Martinez struck out looking. A little above the letters.
Looks like we got a little activity going on in the bullpen there.
Sam Houston, 2 on at first and second and 2 outs in the 6th. And Martinez struck out swinging. Hartman firing, breaking ball down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And last inning, Blackman singles, steals second, moves to third on a wild pitch. But Hartman strikes at Christensen and Nodelman with him at third base. It's low. Tops have struck out 10 while walking 3. You'll take that ratio anytime.
Oh, every game, you'll take it. What do you think, Randy? They're going to let Hartman finish this game, possibly?
I would be surprised.
Okay.
The ball's fouled away.
He's setting the table. He's going to set the table.
They certainly won't bring in one of their top flight relief pitchers, so with a 6-run lead, we won't be. Hilltoppers will not be bringing Jones out for sure. Ball's fouled away. My thought process is they would not have Hartman finish out the game and maybe save him for an inning or 2 on Sunday.
WKU's had some great relievers, closers, the last couple years.
They sure have. Evan Jones right now has been very good as the Hilltoppers closer this year with a couple of effective setup men. Hartman pitches. High chopper to short. Howard fields it. Comes up throwing, and he's out. On 2 plays like that this past weekend in Atlanta, now Howard had to run in a little bit more than this play, but he just sort of airmailed a couple of throws just like that for costly errors. That throw was high, but it was pulled down there by Hilltopper first baseman Marsala.
Does a good job of getting rid of the ball fast. That's what I like. And he can make the basic play.
Actually, it's now Henry Brown at first. So Brown is playing at first base. That's inside. Hilltoppers have Brown in at first. They have Niehaus. Caleb Niehaus is now the WKU second baseman. Foul tip at the plate. Mark Reardon, most of the time, going deep into his bench in games throughout the year with leads or deficits. Autry swings through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A lot of dip on the pitch from Hartman.
Well, Coach Reardon has to be happy with his performance from his pitching staff so far today. Very consistent.
The second best ERA in college baseball. Roller right at Howard, who is on the first base side, is second. Howard grabs it and throws him out. So in your scorebook, it goes 6-3, even though the ball was hit to second base. 2 down. And now Addison Smith is a batter.
Great job of keeping the ball down again in the strike zone. That's why he's got a tremendous amount of ground balls since he's been on the mound today.
That's inside. I don't believe in the announcer's jinx, so I'll go ahead and let you know the Hilltopper pitchers have combined for 3 shutouts already this season. They're up 6-0 right now in the 8th. That's way inside from Hartman. Smith is a double, a ground out to short, and a strikeout swinging. He's ahead of the count 2-0 from Lucas Hartman in the top of the 8th. He bounces it.
Looks like we got 2 pitchers up in the bullpen throwing here a little bit. So this probably will be the last inning for Hartman.
I bet Hartman has bounced at least 10 pitches, and Westbrook has handled every one of them but one. It was a wild pitch. 3-0 to Smith. And it's over for a strike. Haven't had too many beasts with the ball and strike umpire today. John Mang, he's been all over it.
Very consistent strike zone. That's the key.
Found the outside edge of the fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Smith taking all the way. Now the Hilltoppers will move their third baseman to the first base side of second. And the 3-2 upcoming. Strikes him out swinging. Hartman racks up his 5th strikeout, 11 for the Hilltoppers as a staff. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning as Sam Houston goes 1-2-3. Hilltoppers up 6-0 on ESPN+.
All right, fans, if you know the words.
As we listen to Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline, it's the last of the 8th inning, and the Hilltoppers are leading Sam Houston 6-0 on this Friday night game. Game 2 tomorrow at 1. Sunday scheduled for 1 o'clock as well. I wonder if Neil Diamond was even a baseball fan when ballparks decided this would be a good one to play.
Neil Diamond's is it Canadian, right?
I did not know that.
For some reason, I think he's from Canada. We're going to get clarification on that, Randy.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
I've never seen. Hey, Steve Perry, I've seen at baseball games. I've never seen Neil Diamond at a baseball game.
I bet he's been to Dodger games. He's from New York. I think he grew up in New York. Didn't you see the movie The Jazz Singer?
There you go.
Fly ball right center, drifting over and making the catch will be Blackman. There's one away. You must be mistaking Neil Diamond for Geddy Lee, who's a big-time Toronto Blue Jays fan.
There you go.
Yeah. Next up for the Hilltoppers, the shortstop, number 3.
Neil Diamond is 84. My goodness. One away for Howard. He has a single and 3 trips today. Been solid at shortstop, made all the plays. And pitch is high. Speaking of Geddy Lee, the lead singer of the band Rush, he is such a large baseball fan that I have read where during concerts at the time when they were all together and Neil Peart, their great drummer, was still alive, he would go into these long, there's a drive high to the left, but it will not be deep enough, just got underneath it. And lining up and making the catch is Autry for the second out. During the drum solo, which could take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, Peart would, Geddy Lee would disappear into the locker room and check out his fantasy league baseball team.
During the concert? Well, that's interesting.
He also, and I saw this on 60 Minutes, Geddy also has one of the great autographed baseball collections of anyone. I mean, hundreds of famous players from nowadays to old-timers. He has a great collection of autographed baseballs. That's high. 1 ball, then no strikes. And why does he root for the Blue Jays? Well, he grew up in the Toronto area, so we can't blame him for that.
I was going to ask, was he an Expos fan?
Caleb Niehaus with his first at-bat. He had a 3-hit game Tuesday against Evansville. He came in and played defense last inning, and he takes the strike. And it is a ball and a strike to Niehaus with 2 down and nobody on. The game is in the 8th, and the Hilltoppers have busted it open for a 6-0 lead. Niehaus hits it high and foul out of play. We have given Caleb a family homework assignment. He's from Indiana. So is the former legendary Seattle Mariners radio play-by-play announcer Dave Niehaus, who's in the broadcasting wing of the Hall of Fame. That pitch bounces. That is not a a name like Smith or Johnson or Jones. There aren't a lot of Niehouses around, and they're both from Indiana. So he feels like there is a family a little north of them, a different family, not related to Niehouses. So he's got the weekend to complete the assignment, or I have to take over. 2-2. Bouncer over the mound, and he has hit the second baseman to grab it on the edge of the outfield turf, but he has no play, and Niehaus has an infield single. Big high bouncer over the mound. Smith got there but had no play, and that's what you call those Baltimore chops or an artificial turf base hit.
Hey, he hit it right down the middle there, got that friendly bounce, and gets a single on base. I'm going to be anxious to hear the answer to that question on if he was related to Dave Niehaus. I didn't know Dave Niehaus was from Indiana. From which part of Indiana?
Central.
Okay.
Here's Westbrook, and he's running. The pitch is outside to throw down. Is there in time. Good tag, good pickup, and he's out. Good scoop by Martinez. The throw bounce. He got there in plenty of time, but he made a nice scoop, and he tags out Niehaus to retire the side. That's it for the Hilltoppers in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and none left. 8 down and 1 to go. WKU going for their 4th shutout of the year as they lead 6-0. Greg Davis, hard to have a staff put together a much better game than the Hilltoppers have today on the mound. They've only allowed 4 hits in this game with 11 strikeouts and 3 walks.
Bennett and Hartman both have pitched very well. Great control. And they've had some good fielding behind them as well. That always helps, Randy.
No errors for the Hilltoppers. Ryan Frandon, first baseman, digs in with a walk, a strikeout, and a walk. Hilltoppers have walked 3, all by Bennett, and Bennett walked Frandon twice. Hartman's been out there for 2 1/3 innings. He's pitched as many as 4 innings of relief this season, and the right-hander is inside. Just in case, WKU has a couple of arms in their bullpen.
Looks like we got a lefty out.
Patrick Morris.
Okay.
Who was outstanding in the Tuesday win at Evansville out of the bullpen. Hartman finds the strike zone. It's 1-1. Once again, we'll be back here again tomorrow, 1 o'clock. First pitch on ESPN Plus. Chops it down the first base line, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sunday game also now scheduled for ESPN Plus with a change in the WKU softball schedule. We'll have ESPN Plus here on Sunday as well. Pitch comes in. Roped to right, but foul off the brick sidewall. If you're not going to be around your television set, want to follow this series, no matter where you're from, where you're at, well, you can go to the Varsity app as well. Just go to Western Kentucky University. On the Varsity app, it's free. You'll hear our radio broadcast as well. It's launched to left, and sizing it up will be Ciervo. 1 away.
Another great pitch by Hartman.
It's actually O'Connell in left, not Ciervo. O'Connell makes the catch. Martinez up. He's had a tough day at the plate. Been solid defensively, but at the plate he struck out 3 times, and he's left 5 runners on base.
I'm going to be anxious to see if he can get out of that rut here as he squares the bunt.
Takes it outside. In the times at the plate where he struck out, there were 2 outs in an inning. 2 outs in the first bases loaded, 2 outs in the 6th, runners at first and second. And at that time, the game is still up for grabs. He ropes it right to short, picked up off his shoe tops by Howard. Splendid play, throws him out at first, 2 down. And Martinez, the hitter, can really appreciate the play that Howard just made because he plays that same position.
A great job of just keeping his composure, Howard, on the short bounce, staying with it. Big part of fielding is being in the right spot, and he seems to be at the right spot most times.
Blackman is 1 for 3. And the left-hander takes it on the outside edge. Strike 1. Blackman now in center. Started the game in right. Hilltoppers are an out away from their 4th shutout of the year. They shut out Central Michigan 2-0. UNC Asheville 12-0. And he shut out UNC Asheville again 3-0. It's now 6-0 here. The pitch is on the outside corner, 2 strikes. In the Saturday game at Jacksonville State, They led that game 4-0 going into the ninth. Gave up a run. Ball bounces. Once again, Westbrook scoops it. Throw to first, though, is low and gets by Brown. So that'll be an error on Westbrook, who knocked down the pitch that was bounced by Hartman. And he sort of short-armed it to first base and bounced it. And it got by Brown. That'll be an error on Westbrook on the throw and a strikeout by Blackman. It's a 12th pitching strikeout, 6 from Bennett, 6 from Hartman, but the game stays alive now.
That's not the type of play Coach Reardon wanted to see.
Swing and a miss by a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Easton Dean.
Correction, Easton Dean.
And he is out of Cold Spring, Texas. Dean's first at bat, 2 down in the ninth, 0-1. And that sinks low. 1 ball, then 1 strike. There haven't been too many pitches tossed by either Hartman or Bennett that have been above the waist today. Everything's been down. That one is down the middle and let her high. And he popped that one out of play. It's a ball, then 2 strikes. With the victory, Hilltoppers just 1 out away from securing it. They'll be 23-3. Foul tipped. A lot of work to be done in Conference USA play. However, with that many wins at this time of the season, you start thinking about the possibility of getting a regional this year. That's high and away, but there's a lot of work still to be done. It's outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And we both know Conference USA baseball, you've got some depth.
5th highest rated conference in college baseball right now as of this weekend. That ball's fouled down the right field line.
Dallas Baptist, La Tech, just to name a few.
FIU's having a good season. They're 17-9. Liberty is 18-8. Jacksonville State is 16-9. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And he waves at it. Dropped by Westbrook. Lobs it to first, and that'll do it. Hartman pitches the last 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Bennett pitched the first 5 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. And these 2 right-handers, Bennett and Hartman, combined on a 7-hit shutout with 13 strikeouts and 3 walks.
A great pitching by the Hilltoppers pitching staff today. Both pitchers, like you said, did a tremendous job of keeping the ball down low, got a lot of ground balls, stayed away from having a bad inning. Actually, our worst inning was the first inning probably. And after that, things settled down, Randy.
Hilltoppers made the hits when they had them. They didn't have a lot of hits either, only 7. They had that big inning in the 6th inning where they scored 4 times. On their first 5 batters on the inning, doubled, tripled, homered, walked, and singled. A cycle in that inning plus a walk, and that helped secure the win. 6-0 looks like a blowout. This game was up for grabs until the 7th inning because it was only 2-0 going into the 6th.
Hey, and what helped also the Hilltoppers was the 4 for 4 in stolen bases to begin with. Of course, the last one we got caught stealing there, but tremendous job on the base paths. And Weidman had another good game, Randy.
Hilltoppers go to 23-3. They are 2-2 in conference play. Sam Houston drops to 7-19, and they are 1 up and 3 down. ESPN Plus baseball again here tomorrow at Nick Dennis Field. The first pitch time will be at 1 o'clock. It'll be game 2 of the series as the Hilltoppers take on Sam Houston. For my partner, Greg Davis, and everyone behind the scenes for making this telecast possible, thanks for watching here as WKU has shutouts Sam Houston 6-0. Back with more tomorrow, 1 o'clock first pitch time, where the Hilltoppers take on the Bearcats in game 2 of the series.